Hello everybody. Welcome back for another video. Hope you're all fantastic and that you're all having an amazing day. Leaving a like, a comment, or subscribing helps out the channel immensely. Welcome back to another news I missed, where I go over the news that was in the news that I just happened to also miss. And without further ado, let's jump right into it. The first ever Cardano stablecoin known as DJED. It is spelled D-J-E-D. I assume it's supposed to be JED. Is set to hit the Cardano mainnet in January 2023. The team made this known at the just concluded Cardano Summit 2022 in Lausanne, Switzerland, developed by the Charles Hoskinson-led Input Output Global and issued by COTI. DJED is a decentralized algorithmic stablecoin built on the Cardano blockchain. The DJED algorithmic stablecoin is designed to maintain stability through a combination of collateral and a reserve. There's that word, collateral, and a reserve token. Following the January launch of DJED, Shen will serve as JED's reserve token. What's Shen? And I know someone's furiously typing in right now. Shen will be serving as JED's reserve token, while ADA will be used by users as collateral to mint the stablecoin. Okay. As disclosed by developers during the summit, DJED will hit Cardano mainnet, and they said the third time already, early 2023. JED Pay, that is DJEDPAY, a service developed to allow merchants and other businesses to accept DJED payments, will be rolling out alongside the launch of the Cardano-based stablecoin. Backing it up, people barely already pay with Bitcoin and Ethereum. I think there's not many people at all who are using Cardano or ADA as their form of payment. So I think that very wild to assume that people would be using JED payments at all to buy things in the next 2 or 3 years. But, we live in a wacky world, so who knows what's going to happen. So apparently, if you missed it the first 9 times where it was mentioned, Cardano is going to be having a stable coin, or rather a new stablecoin called DJED, launching sometime early next year. Let's see if it takes off. A lot of platforms previously in the past have launched their own stablecoins, and a lot of times they're not that popular. So, Coinbase has one, Binance has one, the Gemini Twins have one. The Gemini Twins is not used that much, but a lot of other projects. I feel like it's another, hey, look over there at what they're doing. We have the exact same thing kind of thing going on once again in the cryptocurrency space, where typically, roughly around every 2 years, there's a brand new word that kind of pops up. In 2015, 2016, it was colored coins. That was the original name for it. You would have a purple coin and a blue coin and a red coin, and they would all serve a different purpose. And then no one used that. And then 2017 was ICOs, and then that got shut down. And then 2018, 2019 was STOs. There was also another word floating around back then as well. That was the era of if we don't like it, we're going to fork it to make fake money. That was the Bcash, BSV, et cetera kind of era. The beginning of 2020, it was NFTs, and that's lasted kind of for a while. We also had the whole smart contract thing, and there was another 3-letter thing that was also popping up that everyone was kind of going crazy over. So it looks like, for me, it feels like a lot of the coin projects right now are kind of just waiting for a larger coin to create something so that they can also mimic it. Because everyone has been, once again, if we If we can time machine back to 2019 when everyone was screaming at me, telling me I had no idea what I was talking about and I was incredibly stupid. I remember those comments. Believe me, I do. And I kept on telling everyone that these are basically computer programs. They're protocols. And people were like, they're not computer programs. You know what you're talking about. I'm like, okay, sure, whatever, fine. They're all the same thing. They can all be, and I heard someone suck their teeth. They can all be updated and upgraded and also have the exact same program. So this is why they all have stable coins, why they all have smart contracts, why they all are capable of using NFTs. It's because they're all the same project, just with a different name and kind of morphed slightly different. But we haven't gotten to the new name thing yet. So maybe next year it'll be a thing. It's usually always 3 letters. It's always something. ICO, STO, NFT. We're waiting for the next 3-letter thing that ends up popping up. It ends up taking off. Everyone adds it to their blockchain. Everyone ends up loving it. And then that becomes hype for the next 2 years. So that's kind of how things always are. That's the Cardano is going to be launching a new stablecoin in the year 2023, which sounds fake because, you know, we should have flying cars by now, but here we are. All right. Let's moving on. Also, this is supposed to be like crazy news, but it's not because, you know, JP Morgan has a no-coiner CEO. That phrase is cringy. And first of all, Jamie Dimon definitely owns cryptocurrencies. If you think at this point that he doesn't have some kind of an allocation, he's worth billions. You think he has like not even $1 million worth of Bitcoin or some type of light allocation into crypto? You're ridiculous. But it is working. That is JP Morgan on a cryptocurrency wallet to meet the market's needs because they understand exactly where all of this is going. JP Morgan's not full of idiots. There is usually actually full of very corrupt people who know how to make huge amounts of money. So of course they're into the cryptocurrency space because we also heard this a couple of years ago and people kept on saying, Jamie Dimon's not into crypto. He's a blah, blah, blah. I mean, he has certain things, but just understand that he also became... Anyway, on November 21st, U.S. Patent and Trademark Attorney Michael Kondudis announced that JP Morgan and Chase Company, it says CO, the largest bank in the United States and one of the largest financial companies in the world, registered a patent to venture into Web3 with a digital crypto wallet. According to Kondudis, the U.S. Patent and Trademark Office, USPTO, approved the application by JP Morgan and Chase on the 15th of November. The wallet will offer services like virtual currency transfer and exchange, crypto payment processing, virtual checking accounts, and financial services. I will say this once and never ever again. If you had a problem with the FTX fiasco because they were centralized and therefore the money went poof, if you have an issue with any of the other DeFi platforms that have not been DeFi, they were actually very centralized, and one of your main things in the space is that you want self-custody or you don't want the bad guys to have control over your money, and you open a JP Morgan cryptocurrency wallet, good luck to you. Absolutely good luck to you. Because mathematically, there are at least going to be 100 people. That's right. 100 people listening right now. I'm doing the very low, 1% of 1% are going to open up at some point in the next 3 to 5 years a JP Morgan Chase cryptocurrency wallet. One day you are going to be shocked when you can't access your money, when your account has been frozen, when you are trying to withdraw the millions of dollars that you've made from the cryptocurrency industry and you are told no. Why? Because you're working with JP Morgan Chase. JP Morgan Chase and every other bank on the planet has been into crypto since 2014. Do you think that they're creating a cryptocurrency wallet because they want life to be easier for you? Do you think they're making the wallet because they really want to get into the cryptocurrency system? Or do you think that they own a huge amount of cryptocurrencies and they're trying to protect their investment? Right. That's the JP Morgan Chase has filed a patent to make a cryptocurrency wallet If any of you use it, that's on you, because you should know it's JP Morgan. Like, I mean, I feel like that in itself should be enough of the sentence. Oh boy. And yeah. Let's move on. Also in news, I don't know. Austrian exchange Bitpanda. Yes, there's an exchange called Bitpanda. Has obtained a crypto license in Germany through its local unit, the company said on Tuesday. With the license from the German Federal Financial Supervisory Authority, Bitpanda Asset Management GmbH can independently offer crypto custody as well as proprietary trading for crypto assets for German residents. The company said in a press release why they had paperwork in Austria, but it did not translate to Germany, will forever be beyond me, they said. Additionally, Bitpanda, I wonder how they came up with that name. Like, I truly do actually wonder were they looking at a panda? Were they at a zoo? Bitpanda will be able to maintain an order book and directly market services for crypto assets, enabling them to provide a secure and regulated environment for German customers to invest in a wide range of cryptocurrencies. So, in news, Bitpanda, which I'm certain 99% of you have never heard of, has now gotten paperwork to be able to work in Germany, their next door neighbor. That's crazy, right? Because I stupidly always assume, you have the United States of America, and I thought, hey, I got paperwork from Alabama. I can totally work in Florida because we're the United States. Nope, that's not how it works. Same exact thing in the EU. Apparently, you need paperwork for every single country because they should have a common regulatory framework, which means you just need one set of paperwork. But in the year 2023, we still haven't gotten to any kind of logic anywhere. And the world just moves so slow with everything. It takes 15 years to get anything done. And then before you know it, you're like 95 years old. Wow, Bitpanda. That's crazy? Question mark? Cool. They got paperwork. Yeah. Let's move on. I don't know what that was supposed to have been, but that's what you got. Money transfer network Ripple, or company, says that its crypto-based payment solution on-demand liquidity, formerly known as XRapid, is seeing rapid growth. In 2022, Ripple's ODL solution uses XRP to enable faster and cheaper cross-border payments without the need for pre-funded destination accounts. You can already do that just simply using the XRP ledger. You don't have to actually use a third party at all. I can send you XRP and you can send it to me right now. We don't need another company in between, but for some reason people like using companies. In a new statement, the San Francisco-based firm says that on-demand liquidity technology is now supported by countries in Africa, Israel, Australia, Brazil, Argentina, Belgium, Singapore, the UAE, and the UK. Ripple says that some of the earliest customers that were onboarded for their RippleNet cross-border payment have also upgraded to XRP usage for remittances as well. Remember that news a couple of years ago? Oh, wow, how we've come full circle. Years ago, Ripple announced that they had a number of partners back in 2018, and these partners were using RippleNet. People were, remember? Hey, you. Hey, yeah. If you turned around and looked, I'm talking to you. Years ago, people were like, well, no one's using XRP. What's the point of using XRP? Where's the service on XRP? And I was like, well, they said that they're using RippleNet now, but they are going to eventually transition into using XRP for their payments. And people are like, it's never going to happen. And now we have multiple companies in multiple countries actually using XRP. So I find it really funny the way that time and also the internet works, because a long time ago, it was like the main thing that people had to say about what was wrong with Ripple / was wrong with XRP. And then lo and behold, everyone has shut up. Not one person says anything anymore. Why? Because they also realize that the entire thing is entangled with them. How, you might ask? Well, Ripple's currently going through a lawsuit with the SEC. If Ripple loses, the entire cryptocurrency industry loses as well. Yeah, crazy, right? And if Ripple wins, XRP skyrockets, and so does every coin, because there's no chance of them being called a security. And then the old thing of no one's using XRP anymore. Well, no, it's multiple countries, and also the entirety of the United Arab Emirates. Yeah, if you want to look that one up yourself, you can go look that up, because they're all using it. And then the other thing that we also heard about 3 or 4 weeks ago, people were like, well, Ripple holds a huge amount of XRP in existence. Nope, that one also got shut down just a couple of weeks ago, because in the beginning they had, I think, 60% of it, and now it is less than 50%. It is 49% of all the tokens that they own. And guess what? Why they own so little is because companies keep buying them around the world. Yeah, you forgot about that part. There's a whole bunch of companies who keep announcing that they're partnered with Ripple, and they bought a huge amount of XRP from the escrow that gets unlocked. So eventually, at some point, Ripple is going to have 45% of all the XRP, and then 40%, and then 30%, and then 20%. You kind of get the idea, because XRP also burns itself as it's being used. So funny how time works. Yeah, I haven't seen, it's really funny. And not even the entire Sam Bankman-Fried FTX fiasco. People haven't bad-mouthed Ripple and or XRP in a very long time. I've noticed. I've seen the shift. Don't think I haven't seen the difference, you guys. Come on, I've definitely seen it, because everyone, that was the punching bag for a very long time, and then people realized you might not admit it openly, but how important they are, especially with this lawsuit. So I assume that once the lawsuit maybe is won, people will begin bad-mouthing it again in 2017 stupid solidarity, just for old time's sake. But yeah, so cool. We had at least, there's news I missed every weekend. It's been at least half of the year, a good 27 times at least, that every weekend, or every other weekend, we hear about a new Ripple XRP XRapid on-demand liquidity partner. So, yeah, look at that. That's the Ripple news. Alrighty, let's move on. Also in news, El Salvador's Minister of the Economy, Maria Luisa Hayem Brefe, submitted a digital assets issuance bill to the country's legislative assembly, paving the way for the launch of its Bitcoin-backed volcano bonds. Ooh, yeah, remember that one. First announced 1 year ago, the pioneering initiative seeks to attract capital and investors to El Salvador. It was revealed at the time the plans... What? Is that English? It was revealed at the time the plans to issue, there we go, $1 billion in bonds on the Liquid network, a federated Bitcoin sidechain. For those of you who don't know, Liquid is like Lightning, but Liquid is mainly for institutions and cryptocurrency exchanges to be able to send Bitcoin quickly. It's almost never mentioned, because it has no real effect on us in our daily lives like Lightning will. But Liquid is used by, the big players to send money. With the proceeds of the bonds being split between $500 million direct allocation to Bitcoin and the investment of the same amount in building out energy and Bitcoin mining infrastructure in the region. So, is it gonna finally happen? Because we heard about this, it's been a year ago. El Salvador announced that they were going to use volcanic heat or lava or thermal something energy and use that to actually mine Bitcoin. Also, they recently announced that El Salvador is buying a Bitcoin a day. So that's also something that was recently in the news. I don't know if it'll work. I assume maybe yes, because people, for some reason, like bonds. No information for us as to what the return on the bonds will be. I guess because we're normal people and we're not part of that $500 million allocation. So cool. I assume, because of the way that the cryptocurrency space works, the moment that we hear that El Salvador is using volcanoes to mine Bitcoin, it'll definitely be news, because that's something that people also care about, that people are using volcano heat to mine digital currencies. I mean, it's kind of a very futuristic thing if you kind of think about it. Like, imagine like going back to the 1970s and being like, hey, in the future, someone's going to be using a volcano to make money from a computer box. It would also sound a bit weird. It sounds weird now, but imagine before the interwebs. That's the El Salvador news, volcano bonds. Let's see if they actually end up doing it. I mean, they talked about it a year ago. It's just happening now. Can they actually raise $1 billion from other? I don't know. All right, let's move on. Also in news for the third time, New York, that's the place above Old York, has enacted a 2-year moratorium on proof-of-work cryptocurrency mining operations powered by fossil fuel, becoming the first state in the country to do so. Ooh, Governor Kathy Hochul, I assume that's how you say that, who was elected to a full term in early November, signed the controversial environmental ban on Tuesday. In her statement, Hochul said that she wanted New York to remain the center of financial innovation. Yeah, but that's like, it's not the 1980s anymore. Like, that's completely long gone. But the governor also stressed the importance of environmental protection. The bill was passed by New York State Senate in early June. New York has become an attractive place for crypto mining businesses because of its cheap hydroelectricity sources. Okay. Miners also took advantage of the abundance of shuttered fossil fuel power plants in the state. So in summertime and even before, this was proposed around the beginning of this year, 2022. And a lot of people were rattled and shaken and annoyed because they were like, don't do it, cryptocurrency, blah, 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 blah. People were throwing their hands into the air and all this other stuff. One, this has nothing to do with you. You. If you heard me say the word you, and you thought of you, yourself, you. This has nothing to do with you. The moratorium is on people who are creating cryptocurrency mining warehouses with hundreds of thousands of machines, and not just the one machine that you might have in your house that you're using to protect the network. This is for massive investors who are dumping hundreds of millions of dollars into this, who are going to exclusively or wanted to exclusively use fossil fuel. So if you are using wind energy or solar energy or thermal energy from volcanoes, this has nothing to do with you. Also, just in general, you imagine if I had never brought up this news. Would you have gotten upset? No, because you would have never known about it because it has absolutely nothing to do with you. However, that's not how the internet works. And people were quite annoyed when this news came out and they were like, she doesn't know what she's doing, blah, 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 blah. Neither do you, sir. You are not mining cryptocurrencies, and if you are, you do not have a $700 million operation going on. And if you do, well, welcome to the channel. I hope you subscribed as well. Don't forget to click the like button and the little notification thing. I think there's a bell. Did they change the icon? I don't remember. If there's something there, click it just so you. Anyway, the point is, also, just in case people forget, because a lot of people in crypto keep on forgetting this. When you breathe in, you're breathing in air. Are we all agreed there? I know someone's holding their breath. Stop it. The other part is, have you ever seen a car drive by and you go, oh, that smelled terrible? That's the fossil fuels coming out the back of it. Now, people mining Bitcoin that has nothing to do with you having to stop releasing more of that nasty smell into the air is actually a good thing. Why? Because they can also just go somewhere else, or they can use sources of renewable energy that won't make it terrible for you and your kids to breathe in dirty air as you're walking down the street. See, it's great for everyone. A lot of people were upset with this, and the people who are upset with this are the people who aren't mining crypto at all. It just doesn't make any sense. Like, I listened to a podcast. I'm going to try and find the title of it for you. Maybe I can even find it very quickly. Give me a second. I'm going to try and find it. Going to my downloads. It's called The Ezra Klein Show. And the name of the episode is Bill McKibben on the Power That Could Save the Planet. If you don't feel like it's about an hour and 30 minutes. It's quite interesting. I love like very slow podcasts. The idea of it is the guy's like, yeah, so part of the problem is that governments are hooked on the idea of fossil fuels because they found a huge portion of it, and they keep making everyone believe that this is the only way to use electricity or to get energy. And he was like, no, actually, the cost of solar panels has dropped by like 90 to 95% in the last 10 years alone. So he's like, it's actually a lot cheaper for a building or a house or someone living somewhere to simply invest one time in very cheap solar panels, and they have that power for life. Same exact thing with wind energy. And what's the other one? There's another one. I don't remember. Some other thing that comes from the planet. He's like, yeah, so we now live in, and I know it sounds crazy, but we live in a time where we could live in a utopia. Like we could now. We have all the technology. We know how to end world hunger. It costs roughly around, I think, $6 billion or something like that to end world hunger. So that's the Elon Musk and Amazon guy challenge. If you guys can end world hunger, you should totally do it. And also, as far as like the abundance of energy, we have a sun that is going to be running for at least the next 65 million years. So we could use that energy to totally not have to rely on any other country and just simply rely on ourselves and our own power grids. We could have tens of thousands of power grids as opposed to just one. Have you ever seen the map for the US power grid? I think was it 3 sections? There's a West Coast, an East Coast, and a Texas coast. And if any one of them goes down, or that entire section of the states is just power's gone. Now imagine if there were tens of thousands of them that were constantly sharing energy between themselves if they had an excess, or selling it to other countries. Imagine if your country was making so much electricity that it was selling it to another country, and any excess profits actually got sprinkled back onto you. So imagine if New York was making too much electricity and had to sell some to Jersey, and any extra money that Jersey had to pay was actually given back to New Yorkers. Yeah, see, I know it's crazy, right? See, all of that's actually possible now, but governments are terrible. That's what I was saying. Like, things take forever. Like, we can live in a literal utopia right now. Have you ever seen vertical farming? Look up vertical farming. I love vertical farming. The idea of vertical farming is that basically like those old shipping containers that you see on the boats, like the really gigantic boats, those shipping containers, a lot of companies right now are using them to actually grow vegetables vertically, because the idea is that you need like one small space of land to be able to grow vegetables. But then if you do it in a vertical farm, you can exponentially like do that by like 500 times. You don't even have to use soil. It can be hydroponic. The really crazy part is that you can use, if we had enough of that funding from money that's going to other things that I won't mention right now. Imagine a world where we did that and built that infrastructure for the next 3 years, and all of your vegetables, all of your fruits, tomatoes, carrots, zucchinis, you name it, were completely free. I know, crazy, right? Because not only are we using hydroponics to do them, and it's extremely inexpensive, you also are running it with solar panels, which is a renewable source of energy. I know, it's wild to think about. I think about this stuff all the time. It's so difficult to put it into words, but like when I say that I'm talking to my friends about stuff, we usually have like our conversations are intense. Hello, friends. It's like a 5 or 6 hour conversation, and we kind of go from like beginning to end with everything that's currently happening in life. But at some point, we also end up getting there as well. Like, we have the technology to do all of these things right now. Anyway, got a bit off track. Jeez Louise. I'm in another stratosphere. That's the New York has enacted a 2-year moratorium on proof of work mining that uses fossil fuels, that has, once again, absolutely nothing to do with you or your family at all. Like 0%. Because other people are still going to be mining cryptocurrencies, or they could simply just come up to Canada because, you know, we got tons of wind and snow, and I assume we have a volcano somewhere, but I'm not really sure. The ground had to be made somewhere. That's the New York moratorium news. Yeah. Let's move on. Oh yeah. Okay. Wait. 1, let's move on. And 2, I forgot about this one. For those of you not looking at the screen, remember when I told you, and I have been telling you for the longest now, that there's so much news floating around that is trying to desperately make you terrified of the FTX collapse? For those of you not looking at the screen, just in case you didn't know, FTX collapse is apparently impacting Miami's nightclubs. Oh no, that's the most terrible news I've ever heard. You know how desperate you have to be looking for news to even think of making a news article like this? So apparently the news is that people were making tons of money before FTX, but because FTX collapsed, it says now, where is it? Spending big bucks. All those people are gone. Sam Bankman, why'd you do this? All these people were having fun. See, look at them shaking their groove thing in the nightclub. They can't do that anymore. Even the coins are dancing. I mean, they probably don't have any rhythm, but they're still dancing. I don't, and I say that because they're coins. I've never seen a coin dance, but I would assume they have very bad hip problems as they don't have hips. Like the level of desperation that everyone has right now to make everyone still terrified of FTX is just nonsensical. FTX collapse impacts Miami's nightclub scene. Please just go have several seats because you should never be writing again. Wow, I can't believe it. So hopefully people get back to the club at some point and they, are able to pop those bottles or whatever people say out there. I only drink tea, so I don't know the lingo. All right. Yeah, move on. Yeah. This is like Butters right there. I do hope. Yeah, Butters. That you've all enjoyed. I know someone doesn't watch South Park and they're like, Butters? What's a Butters? I do hope you've all enjoyed. I do hope you all are having a great day, great morning, great afternoon, great evening, wherever you are, wherever you might be. I do hope it's absolutely fantastic. Thank you all once again for watching, listening, commenting, and or supported. Oh, has anyone gotten the new Pokemon? The new Pokemon game yet? Scarlet and Violet. I like it. It's a lot of fun. I can't stop playing it. I've been playing like 9 hours at a time. I'm doing nothing but catching Pokemon. Listen, no gyms. I keep running into the Titans by mistake. I'm not even joking. I'm searching every single square area of the game before I do anything. My Pokemon are between level 70 and 77 right now because I keep using the R button to just like send the Pokemon out. It's a great game. If you haven't played it, it's my first Pokemon game, and like I played Yellow, Red, and Blue. I played Gold and Silver. I think the last ones were Ruby and Sapphire for me. I didn't play Black and White. I didn't play, what was the one before this? Sword and Shield. I also didn't play that one as well. I didn't play Arceus. So this is my first one in like 95 years. It's super, super fun. Got a bit, okay, Ethereum's apparently offline right now if you're not looking at the screen. Anyway, thank you all once again for watching and or listening. I don't know what happened, and I will most certainly be talking to you all soon. See you.